I was thinking about people in the world and how like they're constantly focused on like problems, you know? And I'm like, what if they took the attention that they gave to problems? What if they took the attention that they used to complain and pivoted, you know? Use that attention to be grateful. Use that attention to focus on what's going right, you know? And I understand this because I did go through like a large portion of my life where I concentrated on all the things that were going wrong. That comes with perfectionism, right? That comes with people pleasing. No, feeling like you had to like be a certain way in order to feel accepted or loved, you know? But that is like the perfect formula for self-sabotage, you know, because you're just like out there like trying to be something that you're not in order to gain the attention and the you know, acceptance that you so desperately seek. You so desperately seek, you know? Dude, seriously. Okay, let me just run down like what a typical day for me looks like. I can honestly say I rarely complain about anything. No, and then people like wonder, like I had my manager like tell me straight up that she was talking about me to another coworker. Thank you for telling me that you talk about me behind my back. You know, I love that. But she was telling me that her and a coworker was talking about me, and they're like, dude, does Christina have anything that bothers her? You know, like she doesn't seem like she has problems. Honestly, I don't worry about too much of anything. I literally spend so much of my time being so present that I just kind of deal with what's happening in the moment. You know, I'm not like stuck trying to figure out the future, or I'm not stuck in the past. I mean, sometimes I will revisit like past experiences, like, but it's very brief. Like I catch myself and I don't loop things over and over. You know, I'll basically like visit the past occasionally just to like as a reference point that I can use in this moment. You know, like, oh, okay, I remember back then this happened. Similar situation occurring now, and you know, like what worked and didn't work back then, and maybe applicable to now. You know what I'm saying? And then like future, it's just like, fuck, dude. It's like we can't control the future. You know, we can like, for me, I can see possibilities. You know, like possible occurrences, but as far as trying to control how we get there, or what the outcome is, I don't. It just wastes my time and energy, honestly. I focus predominantly also on staying calm, being unbothered, being detached to some degree. Like that's why I don't take things personally, you know? And because I've gone through my fair share of life, I can kind of relate to a lot of people's situations. So yeah, like when somebody's rude, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to be rude, so, you know, no skin off my back. You know, you're probably just having a moment, or you just don't like yourself, or you don't like your life, you know, and that has nothing to do with me. You know, like I'm just gonna like observe you and stay in my peace and my presence and my I don't know, my joy. I like to have fun, honestly. So like most of the time I'm doing something fun, and like for me, like I don't know, I think people think I'm goofy, honestly, because I would get like stoked on the stupidest things. Like I would get stoked on the stupidest things. Like people will be like, what? Like, why are you so stoked on that? And I'm like, why are you not stoked on that? And as I think if you've been watching my videos for some time, I do have like a serious tone to me, but I also fucking love laughing, like a lot. And honestly, like when I encounter people, I think like when I was younger, I would focus on their flaws, and I was very judgmental, you know, like, and I'd be like judging how somebody did something. And now I just don't care. I just like allow people to do whatever they're doing in the moment. And I want to say I've trained myself to look for like the beauty, you know? So like, for instance, most of the time when I encounter people, I will look for something that's beautiful, and I will compliment them on that. You know, because if you look, okay, seriously, your mind can't tell the difference. It just like hones in on what you focus on, you know, and you are the navigator. You are the captain of your ship. So how are you guiding your ship, guys? You know, because like, yeah, if you want, you can like look for problems, and problems will be everywhere. Or you can look for like, I don't know, things that make you feel happy and peaceful and joyful, which I am apt to do in this leg of my life, you know. And I just like, I don't know, I just look for things that smile. It could be a freaking cloud in the sky. It could be like a little bug on my window. You know, I just totally like the light playing on my car. I just really appreciate just like these little subtle things that show up in my reality, and I don't know, I just get really stoked on it. Whereas most people would like maybe find a problem, you know? Like for me, I'm just like, wow, this is so cool. Like I look at life through a lens of like everything is so beautiful and everything is so lovely, you know, and I speak that into existence. And I like to like yeah, compliment people, you know. Let me give you another example too of like okay, so I had a coworker. She was kind of concerned about, I guess, the pay that she was receiving for the work that she was doing. And she was asking me like, have you noticed, like, you know, like the pay is off or whatever she was telling me about. And I literally was like, oh, I'm like, I didn't even notice. And she's like, what? And she's like, you don't check that? I'm like, no, not really. And I've been like this at most of my jobs. You know, like I don't like to do anything I don't enjoy doing. So I definitely won't stay at a job that I don't like, honestly, because I'm like trading my time, you know, for like monetary exchange, you know. And if I don't like it, I'm certainly not gonna stay. So if you like what you're doing, it's not really a job, you know. So like for me, I don't really like look at my pay. I don't like hyper fixate on how much money I'm making. Like I might take a glance occasionally, you know, but I don't hyper fixate on it. I used to do that, and it drove me crazy. And I'm not that person anymore. So now I'm just like whatever. And she was like, "Are you like good? Are you like I guess she thinks like I don't know. I'm rich." But what is rich? How do you define rich? Because I am rich in joy. I am rich in peace. I am rich in many other like things money can't buy. I'm so rich in that. I'm like, my bank accounts are overflowing with richness. Like when it comes to like things that money can't buy. You know what I mean? But yeah, she was like, you don't pay attention to how much you get paid? I'm like, no. And I said I haven't done that like at all the jobs that I've worked at. She looked so surprised. She was like and then I was just like, I don't really worry about it. And then everything works out. Whoa, I just dropped my pretzel. Whoopsie. Yeah, I mean, things work out, guys. When you hyperfixate on problems, or like, and what are problems? Problems are like created by the mind, by yourself, you know, because again, going back to expectations, like you expect things to be a certain way, you expect reality to show up in a way that you want it to show up, you know. Like for me, I just accept everything as it is, literally, and I have no fucking problems. And then I realize that if there is a problem, somebody else is creating the problem. At that point, it's their projection. I don't take it personally, and I just kind of observe it with like a smile on my face. And then I just keep on keeping on. You know, I stay in my vibe, I stay in my lane, and I just keep on keeping on. Yeah, I literally had people in my life that would fucking complain all the time. And I literally had to like call them out on it. I'm like, dude, if you're like gonna hang out with me, don't fucking complain. And there's a difference between like venting and complaining. You know, most people have adopted like the stance of being a chronic complainer. And it's such a Debbie Downer, right? Come on, guys, you know, somebody who constantly complains, it's so draining to listen to them. And then they're not trying to change your situation. They're not open to like they're not open to advice because they just want to perpetuate being the victim. Yeah, it's about, dude, I don't have time for that. And I will like call people out on that shit. Whether it be like straight up like, hey man, if we hang out, you need to stop complaining. You need to stop complaining. Period. Or I'll like, if they complain to me, I'll like turn it around on them so they like look at what they're doing to themselves. You know, I don't like feed it like oh poor thing, like oh poor thing. I go, oh, you know, like I understand how you feel. What are you gonna do about that? You know what I mean? You throw accountability in their direction, so it makes them think about it. You know, like, oh, what are you gonna do about that? You know? Like this one girl, I guess, like, I don't know, she was kind of upset because people were getting hired, like, after her. So she had seniority, but she was getting less hours, and she didn't get promoted. You know, the new people that got hired got promoted and got more hours. And she was complaining about that. And then she was trying to get me to jump on the bandwagon. And I was just like, I'm like, dude, I'm like not even interested in getting promoted with this company. And then she looked so surprised. And then she was like, well, you know, they're getting more hours. And I'm like, that's cool. I guess I can find another job. And I did. So I have like 2 jobs right now, and both of them I fucking love. Like, honestly, I love it. And I have the schedule I want, you know, and I have like the ratio of work time to like free time is like balanced. It's balanced, guys. Like, yeah. I probably have more free time than I do work time, honestly. That's why, like, you see me chilling most of the time. And people are, like, probably baffled. Like, how are you doing that? Dude, I just don't fucking complain. I accept things. I take accountability. You know, a lot of times when something goes awry in my life, I, like, look at myself first. You know, I'm like, okay, wait. I check in with myself. I'm like, is there something imbalanced in me? What am I supposed to learn from this? You know, am I supposed to shift? Or is it a projection? You know, like I literally take time to like have a fucking internal conversation with myself to check in. You know, check in with myself. And a lot of times it's not my shit. So like once I like get to that conclusion, then I'm just like out. well, that's not me. I'm just gonna keep being me then. And that person needs to, like, I'm not gonna let that person's projection influence me. I also am very attuned to, like, how people manipulate each other. Oh, but going back to that story with that coworker that was really upset that the new hires were getting more hours and making more money and getting promoted. Yeah, she's like, aren't you upset? I'm like, no. And then she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, this is like how a dialogue will go with me, guys. I will totally just throw that shit back in your court. And then, like, and she's like, you're not mad? I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't want to get promoted, and I don't know. If I'm not making the hours that I need here, then I can just find another job. Which I did, which is fun, because that way it's not so monotonous. You know, I can, like, break my work into, like, different, you know what I mean? You know how people work like 40 hours at one job and they're just doing the same shit over and over? That shit gets so boring. And, like, for me, I need stimulation, kind of, sort of. So, like, you know, it was good. It was just like, okay, well, if you're not going to give me, like, you know, I don't know, like, the hours I want, then I just go find another job, and then I'll do the other job too. And that way I have, like, a good balance of, like, you know, doing different things that keep me stimulated. And I also have a lot of free time to just, like, chill, you know. Anyways, oh yeah, so she was like, well, you know, I think it's unfair. And I'm like, I don't. I said, and if you have a issue, you should go talk to the manager, so she's aware that you have these, like, issues, and then maybe you guys can work something out. And then she was like, well, I'm afraid to talk to the manager. I'm like, well, then I don't know what to say. I mean, if she doesn't know how you feel, then how is anything gonna ship? And then, wait, there's something else that she was saying. Oh yeah, she was like, yeah, like, she was so hyper fixated on wanting to be promoted, and I think she just wanted to be in that position of power. You know what I mean? But not everybody deserves to be in a position of power. I think you guys know this. Like, sometimes when you give, like, a scepter of power to a baby, they can wreak havoc. But I don't know. I told her, dude, are you sure you want to be a manager? I said, I mean, you're not going to be able to take time off when you want to, and you're going to be really, like stuck, like, work. Like, work is going to be your life. Like, you won't have time to take time off when you want to. You're going to be at the beck and call of anyone who needs to call you at any hour of the fucking night. And yeah, you're going to have a lot of stress. I mean, do you want that? I mean, I said, some people want that, you know, but me personally, I like my free time. Like, I prioritize my free time and my life over work. So, you know, that's why I'm not interested in getting promoted. I'm not interested in being a manager. I told her I've been there, I've done that. I don't really want to revisit that experience, you know. It's not fun. And then she thought about it, and she's like, oh my God, you're so right. I'm like, I don't know. I said, it's up to you, you know. It's like, what do you want? Some people want that. Some people want that life, you know. They just want to be, like, ball and chain to work. I don't. I'd rather be able to take off when I want to and just chill. You know, I don't want to be attached to my device, my phone, and have people calling me at all hours of the fucking day and night because they have a problem that I have to solve. No, thank you. And then she, like, thought about it. She's like, oh my God, thank you. You helped me, like, see things from a different perspective. I'm like, well, I'm happy that you like, found peace with that, you know? And then, yeah, I just don't fucking complain, guys. I'm more of a problem solver. You know, I like to solve problems. I don't like to perpetuate problems. Yeah, that's a difference. I don't mind if people want to vent. Like, normally, I'll tell them, like, hey, do you just need someone to vent to, you know, so you can get it out of your system, or are you looking for advice? So we can be really clear from the get-go. you know, like, and they're like, oh, I just need someone to like listen to me. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. I've had like, it's very rare, but I really fucking appreciate this shit. Some people, before they complain to me, they'll be like, hey, are you like able to hold space for me right now? They literally asked me that. And I appreciate that so much. That's so like considerate. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like, what's up? Shoot. You know? But they ask. They don't just like like verbal vomit on me, and I'm not prepared for it. But I'm so accustomed to that I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. But I literally like stop them and go, hey, do you need like to vent right now, or are you looking for advice? Most people just want you to create a container for them, honestly, and then they feel better afterwards. It's the ones that keep like looping the problems where I'll just like, I'll listen to it once or twice, and then I'll be like, hey, you've like complained about the same situation to me twice, 3 times, thrice, and I'm good. I don't want to hear it anymore. You know, what are you gonna do about it? Only you can do it. Only you can change the situation. I used to go in there and do stuff for people, you know, because they're like really like, but that's enabling people. Like, they need to figure it out. I had to figure it out. You had to figure it out. Also, hey, one last story before I leave. I mean, that's the best way to explain things is through stories, right? It's even better when it's firsthand experience. That's how I learned, honestly, like firsthand experience. I need to get in there. But this was years ago. I had another coworker. And that's why I work, guys. I literally work so I can socialize and so I can get the lessons that I need. Because if not, I'd be like a full-on hermit. Seriously, I'd be a hermit. And I noticed that stunts my ability to expand myself. Because when there's like pros and cons to being like a hermit in hermit mode. You know, because of self-reflection and purging and transmutation of energies and stuff. That's cool. You know, but when you go out in the world, there's so much things you can like take away from that too. And that's why, like, I know, like, before, like, I didn't like people, you know, and I'm sure like there's a lot of you who watch this video and you don't like people too, but I don't know, I'm here to like let you know that once you get through that phase, you'll realize how like valuable it is to interact with people. Because like I wouldn't have gotten these insights or these like contrasting perspectives, you know, if I wasn't socializing with people. But yeah, so the last story before I leave, I had a coworker a long time ago, and at the time we were working at a hardware store, and the new store manager was a dictator. He was a fucking dictator. You know, it's like he would like I don't know, like get people to work by making them afraid. Yeah, so like my coworker would like jump like anytime this store manager appeared, like, oh, he wants me to do something, you know, and I'd be like, why are you doing that? Oh, because, you know, if not, he'll get mad. I don't know. I didn't respond the same way, honestly. Like, I will look dictators in the face and I will not budge. In fact, my first encounter with that store manager, that was funny. I thought I was gonna get fired. Yeah, I didn't know he was a store manager. I might have said the story in another video, but I don't remember. Store manager came up to me, brand new, first day, whatever. I was in the garden department watering my plants. We were very short staffed, and like I said, I didn't know who he was. And he was like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, not good. And then he was like, oh, he's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know, I forget. I'm trying to like mull it over in my head, but he was like, you know, hi, my name is whatever, and I'm the new store manager. And I was like, oh. And then he's like, so what do you think needs to happen to make it better? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe hire people. dude. And then, yeah, like, I don't know, I just gave it to him straight, right? It wasn't like, I don't know, some people cower, you know, when they're in the presence of people who have like a power position. They're like, oh, I'm so scared. I'm like, I'm not scared. I like literally just look at you in your face and stuff. But anyways, yeah, I told him, dude, maybe hire more people. So anyways, I thought I was gonna get fired because that was the vibe I was bringing to that conversation. But he respected me. He didn't fuck with me, but he certainly fucked with all the other workers that were like afraid. Like every time he see me, he's just like, hey, what's going on, Christina? How are you doing? Oh, good on you. But everybody else, he's just fucking like, he was an absolute dictator. Okay, let's wrap up the story. So I was in the aisle talking to my coworker, and I was like, hey man, who's the manager of the store? You know, like as a joke. I don't know if this is getting through. And he was like, what do you mean, who's the manager? I'm like, who's the manager? And then he was like, he named the dude that I'm talking about. And I'm like, dude, that dude is not the manager. That is not the right answer. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, dude, you're the manager. And he looked so puzzled, and he was like, I don't get it. And I'm like, you're the manager. You're the one that manages your time. You're the one that manages your activities. You're the one that manages your life. You're the fucking manager. I said, I'm the fucking manager. You know, we're all fucking managers. So I just want you to know that you're the fucking manager, okay? Don't let anybody else manage your fucking life. You know, if you don't like a job, quit it. You don't like being around certain people, bye. You know? Just hone in on things that make you fucking happy. Bring things that make you excited. Things that bring you joy. Hone in on those things. Everyone else, bye. Bye. I used to work at this other place. It was like a kind of vegan, kind of organic type of foodie kind of place. And we had to prep like fruits on a daily, like bananas and stuff. And I remember like a lot of coworkers, you know, they would be like if they had like a rotten fruit or like a going rotten fruit, they'd look at me, they're like, hey, should I keep this? Should I throw it? And I'm like, dude, when in doubt, throw it out. Like, don't expend so much energy going, should I keep it? Should I not keep it? I'm like, would you eat that? Then don't serve it. You know? Does that look like good? Does that look like something that you would like consume like yourself? Then don't serve it, you know? If it's something that you would eat yourself, then you serve it, you know? But when in doubt, throw it out. Same with people, places, jobs, anything, energetic anything. If it's not good for you, throw it out. And then just like keep on like focusing on the shit that makes you happy, makes you stoked, makes you like joyful, brings you peace. Everything else, throw it out. Guilt-free. That's another thing I had to reprogram, because we've been so conditioned to feel guilty. Oh, I feel bad. It's like, what are you feeling bad about? You're feeling bad about rejecting poison? Make that make sense. You know, if it's poisonous, then you obviously are going to reject it. Why would you feel bad about that? Anyways, yeah, these videos are getting so long. I'm gonna let you go, but if you learned something from this video, yeah. If you didn't, that's cool too. Tomato. Blessings to one and all. Have a beautiful and peaceful day, and remember to take care of yourself, because you're the most important investment. And be blessed. That's all. Bye.